Because it was a negotiation course, it was very much leaning more towards problem solving as opposed to theory, which was actually good because there was a lot of the scenarios that were laid out were actually realistic, that you could see yourself in them, and it gave you techniques to look at the problem that was in front of you and to try and map a way through. I've been involved in negotiations since, well, for 20 years now, and I had sort of learned a lot of tips over the years from my colleagues in work and also just from experience in head offices. But I felt that I actually needed a more robust framework to work around. The negotiations that you would do within head offices are very expensive, and you also need to ensure that after the negotiations are concluded, you actually have a roadmap to implement the plan and follow through. And also, if you can do negotiations correctly, you can save your business an awful lot of money. So it's an important tool for me. I think you take a more structured approach to negotiations, and you have more of a framework upon which to actually, when you're entering a negotiation, to look at your options before you're actually in front of a buyer, that you're better prepared, and that you also know what your fallback position is and what sometimes your walk-away position is. You don't just get involved in an auction. You're better prepared for negotiation. I think initially, before you go onto any course, you're somewhat apprehensive as to, because you're putting away 2 or 3 days, so you obviously want to ensure that the course, when you walk away, that the course is actually, you've learned something when you walk away and you feel better for it. I think for me, going to a course, such as the negotiation course that I did, it sort of reinvigorated me and it re-energized me, and I felt going back into work I was much more capable of putting a structured process around negotiation. And I think it's also a good way of not just sort of motivating you, but also sort of reaffirming that the work you're doing is actually correct and you have a better structure upon which to build.